All right, so I sent you all an email. So if you would go ahead and check that out and write a good response to Denny using proper netiquette. Most important point about netiquette is what? Remember the human on the other side, or be kind. I like that one. Be kind. That's as simple as it gets. If you're going to tell somebody to do something rude to themselves, okay, use only one exclamation point. That's important. One single exclamation point. Hopefully we never have to be rude to people, but it happens. Accidentally, I'm sure. Does anybody know Esmeralda? Has she been gone? She's just... Thank you. Did everybody get that email? Anybody not get it? Okay. Always concerned I'll miss somebody in that list. Hello, Olivia. How are you? Good. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create ourselves a document that we can do our time management on. Okay. And so I'm going to open up a blank document in Excel. We'll name that. I go to File, Save. I'm going to save it into my USB drive, which is a solid state drive or a platter drive. Solid state. I need to put it into the machine before I can do that. Okay. I'm going to put in my last name, dash time, dash management. Yes, there is a reason. It's not a very good reason, though. It's because for one, I program for the web. It doesn't like spaces. Okay, so anytime I save things, it's kind of a habit. I put a dash or an underscore. All right, that's. But there are other times too where I'll try and upload files and it'll require dashes or underscores. So it's just kind of a habit. There's no good reason for most of you to do that. Okay, it's just that in my environment I'm always doing that. Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and put our first line in here. And this is going to be, let's see here, let's say day 1. That's going to be our first item. And then we'll put our next item in. It'll be activities. Activities. And let's go ahead. Yes. That's a good question. Let's see. No, apparently not. So So spell well, I guess. Review. There is a spelling review. Yeah. Let's try it. Yeah, okay. It noticed that I got it wrong, so then I can say change. Yeah, but unlike Word, it apparently doesn't do it as you go. So that's a good idea. All right, so let's go ahead and put some categories in there for how we spend our time. Can you speak up for me, Nick? Oh, I see. Gotcha. So if I hit F7, I want to continue. Yeah, so I guess that, yeah. That seems like one of those I don't want to keep in my memory because I wouldn't use it very often. But you can if you'd like. Yeah. You would? Okay. So let's go ahead and put in activities that we spend our time at. Let's say, first thing, yeah, sleeping. What else? If I hit tab, I go to the next one. Eat, eating, sleeping, eating. School. Exactly. Work. Okay. Exercise. Okay. What else? Family. Can we say relational, maybe? Because it might include friends. Relational, friends, family. Huh? Rec. Is it the same, though? It depends. It depends. Let's do relation. Relational. And then let's do rec. Recreational. Or I'm going to shorten it up and say play. How about that? Is that the same? Recreation and play, is that good enough to satisfied? Okay. Like recreation better? Put recreation in. That's fine with me. Chores. Yep. Homework. Do you want to put? Do you want to keep homework separate from school? Okay. Okay. Sure. What else? Anything else? Leisure time? Do you want to separate that from play? Relax. Okay. Okay. So maybe instead of play, we could do leisure. What do you think? Huh? Recreation. I don't want to have too many categories. Otherwise, you guys are going to get overwhelmed. So, sorry, Leanne. You're going to have to deal with it. Okay. How about hygiene? Some people spend a while. Yeah. What? Yeah. So what's a good category for kind of like shaving, showering, hygiene? Okay. So if you want to put grooming in there, I'm going to leave it as hygiene. If you want to change it to grooming, that would be okay with me. However you want to do it. This is your time management. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Crystal and I are both like, we don't have time for all that.
I spend a lot of time combing my hair.
Right?
So,
Sure. Throw it out.
right. So, is there a better word for that? That would incorporate all of those.
Personal care.
Personal care? Okay. Okay. Personal care. Do we put that in leisure or is that separate? Leisure? Okay, let's leave it in leisure.
It's your leisure time, right?
Yeah. Unless that's your work too, I guess. I don't know.
Social media.
However, depends on what you're doing for a living, right?
I don't think one of us in here is going to be working on social media. But are we going to do that?
I don't know. You figure it out. This is going to be your time management sheet. However you want to do it. We're just going to get the generals in there, and then you can tweak it from there. Okay. Anything else?
Can you show me again where I found this? I see where it says spelling on your.
It's on review. I'm on the review tab. And then over here on the left. There we go. I had travel as one. Does that count? Some of you travel some distance to get to school. Some of you don't travel. Okay.
Is this homework going to be like over the weekend?
For the next week.
Next week?
Yeah.
Shouldn't all these be on the top and the days on the side?
How do you want to organize it?
Huh?
How do you want to organize it?
Well, I was just asking because the way you have it, you have
Mhm.
day one and then you have all the activities.
Yes.
Wouldn't you want the activities on the top and the days on the side?
Here's the question. How do you want to record your time? Okay. So think about how you're going to go through the day, right? How are you going to record your time? You're going to go run to the computer every time and then add it to? Or would you like just kind of a line item and have it added up for you? It would be easier, wouldn't it? That's what I'm heading for. Okay. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it's a way to do it. Okay?
Makes sense.
Okay. So let's do this then. I want to make sure that all of my columns here, well, actually, let's go ahead and stylize these first. These are our headers, right? So day one is going to be a title style. So I'm going to go back to my Home tab, go to my Cell Styles, and then mash on the title style. Right? That makes sense, right? I hope. Okay. And then I'm going to select, I could select that whole row by clicking on the 2 there. And then change that to, let's say heading 2. I don't want them too big. All right. So here's a quick way to get all of these headers to fit within the cell. I'm going to select right up here. I'm going to mash on column 1 and drag across to column 12. And now any of these column divisions, right? You see where my cursor changes to that column divider? If I double click, it's going to automatically widen those up to fit. It auto fits. Okay, who did I lose? Lost you. Okay, so I went back. All right, so you can see homework doesn't fit, personal care doesn't fit, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here to the top of the column where mine says 1, hopefully yours says A. All right, I'm going to go ahead and click on that and drag across to 12, which is where mine ends. Okay. So far, so good? Did I lose you, Alejandro? Okay. So, were you able to select column 1? Okay. If you just now click and drag across to column 12. You got it now? Okay. Now, there are little column dividers right up here. You can see there's this tiny little indication between, let's say, column 11 and 12, or K and I, or whatever, right? Whatever is up here. And you see when my cursor changes to that line with the 2 arrows right and left? Does yours do that? Okay. When it does that, you can double click, and it's going to automatically size those out. Okay, any questions so far? Okay. So now I want day 1 to be the header over the whole thing here. So I'm going to grab cell 1 and drag across to cell 12. I don't want the whole row because I'm going to merge and center. And we know that when we mash on that entire row, it doesn't work right. So we want to select cell 1 through cell 12 in that first row. And then merge and center should be a button right up here. For me, you can't actually see what it says, but it's there. If I click on that, I can see I got merge and center. And when I'm done with that, when I mash on that key, or that button, it should show up like that, right? That work? Did that work for everybody? Okay, great. All right. So let's pretend, for instance, I've got day 1 here. All right, I'm going to go down here, and in the sheet, I can right-click on it and hit rename. And say day 1. Whoop. Day 1. That's going to be tomorrow, right? Start this off tomorrow, maybe, so that you get the whole day. All right, so in column 1, we're not going to have anything. So let's say we do sleeping. We do sleeping, let's say, twice a day, right? You get up in the morning, and then you take a 15-minute nap in the afternoon, right? So you would add up those times to the nearest half an hour. Okay, so let's say I got, the first time was 6.5 hours, and then my nap was, if it was a quarter of an hour, that'd be 0.25, right? That makes sense? But I'm going to go ahead and just round it to the nearest half an hour. I'll put 0.5 in there. Okay, eating, let's say I spend a half an hour in the morning. I can say 0.5. In the afternoon, I take a longish lunch, so I have an hour. For dinner, I have 1.5 hours. And then I sneak some fridge time at night, so I get a half an hour there. So school, let's say we do it in a 4-hour block. Work, we do it in like a, let's say we take 2 shifts, because you get called back to work. First shift is, 5 hours. Second shift is 3 hours. Exercise, let's say you get a half an hour in, because you had to take a second shift. Relational time. Let's say I spend an hour on the phone. Leisure time. Say I spend 3 hours before bedtime watching TV, Game of Thrones, catching up with Denny. Chores, light today, homework. Let's say I spend 2 hours at homework. Personal care. Let's be honest. Half an hour at most. Travel. Let's say it takes me half an hour, all told. Okay. So the nice thing about Excel is that it can add up all these columns for you. So you don't have to add them yourself, right? So what we'll do is we'll come down here let's say, I don't know, give yourself 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's say you give yourself 8 rows. Okay, and we're going to put in totals here. And I'm going to select all the way across to column 12 or whatever that column is for you. And I'm going to go to my cell style and change it to total. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and save it right now. What's the keyboard command for save? Excellent. Our time here is not wasted. Okay. So, if we want to automatically sum this column, what I could do is I could go up here, and there's I think that's a sigma, the backwards E. Can anybody confirm that? It's a Greek character. What's that? Auto sum, right? Auto sum will work. Or I can just click on sum. All right? Click on sum right there. And you're going to see some funky stuff show up. What it is Excel is pretty smart at figuring out what you want to do. All right? It's going to put the dancing ants around the area it decides you're trying to get to. Okay? From here to here. And this is the formula equals sum, and then the range of cells goes in there, and all you have to do is hit enter. Did it come up with the right answer? Excellent. Okay, let's back up. Okay. So I want the total of my sleeping column to go right here, right? Okay. Excel's got a button for that. And it's up here in the upper right-hand corner. Now you can probably see a button called AutoSum. That would work. All right. Since I can't see AutoSum, I've got a little gallery right here. And I can click on Sum, which is the same thing. Yes? Okay. Just click right here. Yeah, and now do the auto sum. There we go. Yeah. So Excel is pretty smart in trying to figure out what you're trying to do. So you could, Diane, you got to go back because I'm going to show you something fun. All right. So once you've got this wacky looking formula right here, all right, just so you know what's going on, there's a colon right here, right? What's on the left is your first cell. What's on the right of that colon is the last cell. And it'd be nice if, for whatever reason, Excel is not giving me the ABC. I could look into it, but it should say something like B3 would be here, and then B9 would be right here. For whatever reason, mine's wacky. It'd be nice if it showed me something better, but yeah. Yes? You need help. Okay.
So, I don't know what happened.
Okay. Let's delete what you got there.
I tried.
Oh, just hit delete on your keyboard. Oh. I don't know why. May I?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So let's go down here and then do your auto sum.
Okay. And that was right here, right?
Yes. Sum. That's it. And then
It's because I was right here. And so it just summed it up.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you got to put your cursor in the cell you want the answer to go into. Okay, great. All right, so let's go ahead and do that again with the eating column. Okay, so let's put it there. And then auto sum. So you should get that wacky thing again. Then you're going to hit enter. Okay. So if it did it correctly, if you have the same numbers I do, all right, so sleeping 7 hours, eating 3.5 hours. All right, the rest of these are pretty simple, right? Okay, you still want to do the auto sum even in columns where you have one number, so that as you go in and enter it, it'll automatically do it for you. So let's try this. Go ahead and auto sum the school. Ooh, okay. Yes. All right. This is where Excel got a little too smart. All right. So what we'll try is do this. Come up here into the formula bar and highlight what's inside. And click here to here. Okay, I know that I lost somebody. So I'll undo. Okay, maybe I won't undo. Okay, so I'm going to back up. Here I go. I'm putting my cursor where I want my answer to go. I'm hitting auto sum, and it's saying, I see these two numbers. Let's add those two things together. But that's not what I want. Okay? So I'm just going to come up here to the formula bar and highlight what's inside the parentheses. Okay, that's step one. Highlight what's inside the parentheses. And then I'm going to highlight in the worksheet the column that I want. So I'm going to drag down to here and hit enter. Did that work? Work for everybody? Jeffrey, you look troubled. A little confused? Okay. Right. Yes. Right. Yeah, so if you... Well, what we want is we want the columns going down this way. So go ahead and highlight what's in the parentheses there. And then click and drag from that row down to that row. There. Oops. So from that row down to there. Okay. Sorry, somehow it got off. Click it again. That one. Highlight what's inside the parentheses. And then click and drag without stopping to right there. Now drop it. There. Oh, weird. Okay, so why is that happening? Can I poke at it for just a second? I don't know why. So what we could do, let's try this instead. Okay. All right. Let's fix it that way. If you're having problems and it just isn't doing what you want it to do, we can fix it this way. So you could highlight all of this down to that total row and then click on the sum feature, and it'll sum it for you. That's another way to do it. Yeah. Well, there's different ways to do things, right? That's one of the beautiful things about Excel is there's a couple ways to do things, and you use what works for you. Okay. All right. Yes?
Not really adding it up
Okay, let's try this. If you ever want to go and see what it's trying to add up, you could go and click on that. You could click on your total and select the formula in the formula bar, and it'll show you what it's trying to add. And if it's the wrong stuff, then you have to change it. Crystal, did it work?
No, it just changed.
It changed on its own, like magic.
Well, I clicked it and it said.
Click up here. Just click up here in the formula bar. Yeah, that's correct, because it's grabbing that stuff right there.
Right.
Okay.
But
Awesome.
before it said inconsistent.
Yeah. How's your karma been lately? Been using your pleases and thank yous? That's what I attribute, computer failure to, is karma whacking you for something. Okay. Any questions about summing columns?
Can't you just enter in what sums you want to be summed up?
Show me how. Tell me how you would do it. Okay, so if I'm right here, I go up.
But can't you go up there and just punch in and say, have equal sum, column, whatever.
Well, that's what this is.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, it's hard on this not having the ABC.
Yes. Right. And if you had the ABCs, that would really be easy. You absolutely can type it in. For whatever reason, with my columns being whacked up. What's that?
I don't have it either.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why that is. I'll have to look into it. Anyhow, but yes, you're right. You're right, Crystal. You could go in there and type it in manually, and then it would all work. But because I don't have my columns working, it makes it a lot harder. Of course. We're just exploring right now. All right. You guys need a break? Not yet? I see one. Anybody? No? Okay. We'll stick it out for a little while, Jeffrey. Okay. All right. So Excel is beautiful in this respect. Oops. Okay. Here's a great example of having gotten a result I was not hoping for. If I just sort of raise my hands and go, okay, I'm not going to move, and then I hit escape, it'll deselect everything. Right? That's sort of your go-to when stuff is not working the way you want it to. Hit escape. Right? If you're getting weird, dancing ants and selections and stuff, hit escape, and that will help you deselect all the stuff that you have incorrectly gotten. Okay. So I'm going to show you a really nice feature about Excel, but we need to get rid of these results first. If we right-click, let's say I grab these three items, and I right-click, if I hit delete, chances are good that it's going to delete my formatting as well. Go ahead and try it. So you hit delete, and yeah, so this is going to cause us problems. We don't actually want to delete, so I'm going to hit cancel. Let's try one at a time here. So I take that last one and I right-click and hit delete. Yeah, it's going to cause me problems. What we want to do instead, you could do that in the keyboard. Let's see here. What happens? You hit delete. Okay, that works. That works. One thing that you're in danger of, if you delete the content, if you delete this stuff, it'll delete the formatting. So it'll remove the total style as well. So what you want to do is right-click and clear contents. Okay, that's one difference between this and other Microsoft products. Clear contents is a better option than delete. Okay. You guys remember the other day when we went step 1, step 2, step 3, and then you did the drag fill across? That works for formulas also, which is a beautiful thing, which is why I want you to redo it. Okay, so if we know our formula is correct in this first column, okay, I can select it, then grab that little green square there and drag it all the way to the right. And it auto sums all the way across. This is a beautiful, beautiful thing about Excel. I do like it for this feature. Did I lose anybody? Okay, I'm backing up. Okay, so I want to take this formula right here and apply it across all of those columns. Instead of copy-paste, I can use that little drag select, that little green square here in the lower right corner. Click and drag that across all the way to column 12. And it takes that formula, moves it to the right, changes the formula to make it work in that column, and then does it again, and again, and again, all the way across. Nice. Can you click on one of these for me? There, and then click on that right there. Yeah, click up there. Nice. Okay. And then hit return. Yeah. Or enter. Sorry, enter. I'm a Mac guy. Sometimes I get enter and return confused. All right. Okay, so click on that. Let's double check our formula. Just make sure we're getting the right stuff. Click on that. So that's good. Okay. Go ahead and hit enter. Okay. Now click on that again. And now grab that little green square there and drag to the right. That looks like it's going to work. Et voila. Yes. Just have to hold your mouth just right. Good job. Nice. Alejandro, you got it? Okay. All right. So it looks like everybody got it. Drag fill is awesome. Love drag fill. And the beauty is, once you've got this formula in place, let's say I add a couple of things here. So I've got 2 hours in homework and, I forgot the assignment for tomorrow, so I'm going to add another hour and a half in there. And I hit enter, and it automatically updates my total, right? That is a nice thing about using formulas. You don't have to do the math yourself, and it keeps things updated. So that's terrific. All right, let's add one more thing up here. After travel, let's add total. You can guess what we're going to do here. All right. If you add up all of the hours spent in your day, how many total hours should you have? 24? Roughly, because we're averaging to half-hour increments. Let's go ahead and auto sum that. And I can see my dancing ants here shows me that I've got all of these column cells selected, and I can just hit enter. All right, I know I got a problem there. So if you're over by very much, I would say check your entries again. Let's do this. Let's select this right here. Well, let's go ahead and make this the total also. All right, so we've got tables, cell styles. Let's go ahead and make that heading 2. Oh, I'm sorry, total. Total. That's what I was after, total. And let's go ahead and give that a little bit of a background color. Where are you, background color? There we go. Okay, so up under font, which it really shouldn't be under font, but where else are you going to find it? There's a paint bucket icon with some yellow paint under it, or yellow color. Click some really light color, like blue. We'll say that's your total for the day right there. Okay, so these are your totals for the items, and this is the total for your day. Okay, so that's day 1.
Can't you do that also in the cell styles? It has
You can. Yeah, you can. Yeah. Yeah, so there are ways to change the background using cell styles. That's what Diane is talking about there. All right, so there we go. Let's go ahead and select all of our entries. And you're going to delete those or clear contents? Clear contents. We got it. Okay. So right-click it and then go down to clear contents. That's day 1. Huh? No. Yeah, because we want the formula to stay there, right? Okay. So then, if we come down here to day 1, let's see here, sheet, move or copy. We could copy this, I believe. Let's try this. All right, I'm down here on the day 1 tab, and I'm trying stuff. I've never actually done this. We'll try it. If I right-click on it, and we say copy, move selected sheets, before sheet, move to end, and create a copy, should be able to create a duplicate. Yeah, that's it right there. Okay, so I'll go back. Oh, I guess I won't go back. Yeah. Okay, so I'm day 1. The little tab at the bottom, because we want day 2, right? So I'm going to right-click on it, go up to Move or Copy, because we're going to duplicate this sheet.
Wouldn't you just hit the plus?
You could accept that it's going to make a blank. So I don't want to redo all my work. That's the goal, is not to redo all my work. So I'll right-click on day 1, go up to Move or Copy. Okay, then I get this little dialog box. Okay, and it says Before Sheet. Now, this is not great user experience here. It's a little hard to understand what they're talking about, but what you want is Move to End, and then create a copy. Okay? So it gives you the option to either move something or copy something. I'm going to create a copy of it and move it to the end of my document. And you can see another tab has shown up. Okay? If I click between these tabs, they look identical. So I didn't have to redo it, which is the nice thing. I didn't have to copy paste. Okay, then I can come down here to day 1, parentheses 2, and rename it. I'm going to say rename, change that to day 2. And then up here, change this to day 2. Make sure to save it. All right, so between now and next Thursday, how many days have we got? I should say between tomorrow and next Thursday, you'll have 6 days, right? So you're going to go ahead and put a total of 6 days sheets in there. Jeffrey. Okay, at the very top? Right there. Okay, I double clicked in there and then highlighted it. Okay. Yes, sir. Ma'am. Sorry.
Should we move to end each time? And create a
Yes.
copy?
Yes. Yeah, you got it. So in this case, it's lather, rinse, repeat, which is pretty meaningless to me.
Wouldn't it be faster to copy all this and then just go to a new sheet and just paste these?
I don't know, would it?
Yeah, 'cause I just
I love for you to explore.
It takes on the formulas and everything.
Yes. Right. So you could do this. And Diane has a great point. All right. So what you could do is you could select this mess right here, copy it, click on new sheet, paste it, and then rename. Okay, so then it becomes day 3. It's a question of how fast is it? Depends on really kind of your speed of your working. All right, so what you're going to do is, starting tomorrow, start cataloging your time, how much you're spending at certain activities. Do not have to be super detailed. Estimate to half an hour. But I would like to show you also, let's see if our printer is working. Once you've got these done, let's go ahead and print these pages out. All right, so you might want to take a few minutes. Yeah, it's a good idea. All right, so I'm going to select what I want printed. Okay. If you don't do this, you may not get the best results. So I'm just selecting what I want to print, which is that area right there. What's the control keyboard combination for printing? Control P, right? Okay. And then it's going to say settings here. Oh, I've got to change this from Adobe PDF to, I believe it is that one right there, TC IR 5050. Let's see, what does it say back here on this printer? We're looking for Lab 1121. So let's see if we can find that. Did you find it? Say it again. Okay. Yours is smarter than mine. Okay, I'm not finding it on mine. I'd have to add it. So use the Lab 1121.
Print all pages?
Hem? You could do print active sheets, or you could do print selection. All right. In my case, the print selection didn't change anything, so I would print just the active pages. Yeah. Sometimes that printing the selection gives you a better result than. All right.
Why do we want to print this? To write
If you want to write down, yeah, you don't have to print this if you don't want to. Okay. But if you want to keep this and have an easy way to, there you go. If you're using your, how did it turn out?
Not good.
Yeah, there's no lines, there's no grid lines on it, which makes it easy for printing. Yes. 6. So starting tomorrow through Thursday. 6 days. All right. So there does seem to be some challenges with the printing. The grid is not showing up, which makes it hard to actually see. It'd be lovely to see if there's a way to make those show up. Do. Lab 1121. You do not have to print these out. I just want you to see what is available to you. Okay, so I could show you. If you want the grids to actually show up, go ahead and select the cells that you want to have grids in. We're looking for borders. Where are you, borders? Ah, here we go. So again, under font, which makes no sense, what you want to do is all borders. And then when you print it out, it'll have the actual grid lines there.
I couldn't find the printer.
Okay.
I couldn't find it on the computer last night either.
Don't know why. Maybe try a different computer. Because I'm not sure how
I
they
mean, I
want you
could
to
save
add.
it to my flash drive
Yeah.
and just do my work on my laptop now.
You could. Yeah. That would be fine. Yes.
Do better than paper.
Where do you want me to start? I'm just kidding. Okay. Do you have any gaps in your memory? May I? Okay. So let's see. We got day 1. That's good. Day 2. Good. Okay. So let's rename that. So go ahead and put in day 3. Okay. And so then there's day 4. Let's rename that one. Day 5. Let's change that to day 5. Okay, and then that to day 5. Exactly. Okay, so you know how to make a duplicate now. Okay. Oops, sorry. Okay, Jeffrey.
How do you get the borders in there?
Go back to home. And then let's do the...
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, and then you want all borders.
There we go.
That'll make it easier to write those in. This is all we're doing today. Yeah. So, any questions about this? So you're going to have 6 days. You're looking at your time management. I'm just curious to know if any of you will be surprised. No? I have a big old fat column for that one, right? Awesome. Okay, so if you don't have any questions, no questions about Excel, right? All good? Sam, okay, I see your notes.